Katy Perry kissed the ground like she had just escaped an alien mothership. Her eyes teary, her words poetic, the moment framed like a spiritual rebirth. But what actually happened? 11 minutes in a billionaire's toy rocket. And somehow, we were all supposed to believe she had transcended. It didn't take long for Joe Rogan, Martha Stewart, the FAA, and pretty much the entire internet to call BS. Because what was sold as a cosmic breakthrough quickly turned into one of the biggest PR implosions in recent memory. And let's start with the basics. Yes, Katy Perry technically went to space. Sort of. She floated just above the Earth's atmosphere in Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin capsule, surrounded by cameras, designer suits, and a fully automated flight system. There was no mission, no experiment, no control panel, no risk. Just a zero-gravity photo op wrapped in the language of empowerment. She called it emotional, transformational, a healing experience. But to anyone watching, it looked more like a luxury influencer trip to the edge of space with an overdone script and a flower for dramatic effect. The flower, a daisy meant to symbolize resilience, became the symbol of the entire spectacle. Katy brought it aboard like she was carrying the hopes of humanity. When she landed, she dropped to her knees and kissed the Texas soil as if she had survived a voyage through time and space. She called it the second most powerful moment of her life, after giving birth. Not the Super Bowl, not selling millions of records. No, floating in Bezos' corporate capsule was somehow her personal moon landing, and people weren't buying it. Enter Joe Rogan, calm, collected, and savage as ever. On his podcast, he dismantled the stunt with surgical precision. What were her findings? He asked with a smirk, exposing the absurdity behind the mission. He compared the whole thing to a soda can. A souped-up joyride that had more in common with a theme park ride than actual space travel. The daisy? A dead flower, he said. A metaphor cut from its roots, symbolic of nothing but branding desperation. It wasn't a spiritual journey. It was a soft rebrand in zero gravity, and Joe Rogan wasn't the only one who saw through it. Then the FAA stepped in and delivered the coldest reality check of all. According to official guidelines, none of the crew aboard Blue Origin qualified as astronauts. Not Katy, not Gayle King, not Lauren Sanchez. Why? Because they didn't perform any safety-critical functions during the flight. They sat, they floated, they posed, and the capsule flew itself. The title astronaut, once reserved for pioneers and heroes, was reduced to a glorified Instagram caption. And the FAA shut it down hard. That's when the internet took over. Memes exploded across every platform. Katy's dramatic speech, her kneeling moment, her space sermon, all instantly transformed into meme fuel. Wendy's official Twitter account fired the first viral shot. Can we send her back? That wasn't just a roast. It was a cultural takedown. Suddenly, Katy wasn't a space pioneer. She was the face of overproduced delusion, floating in high def while the world watched with popcorn in hand. The crew was dubbed Space Tourist and Gucci, Zero-G influencers, and the astronaut girlies. And Katy? She was memed into orbit. But the knockout blow didn't come from a comedian or a critic. It came from Martha Stewart. With the elegance of a silent assassin, she posted a clip from 2007. Her own zero-gravity flight. No press tour, no crying, no daisy. Just Martha, floating calmly, smiling like it was a regular Tuesday. No branding campaign, no emotional monologue. Just real quiet grace. And in that moment, Martha didn't just steal the spotlight, she obliterated it. The comparison was brutal. Where Katy overacted, Martha just existed. Where Katy played astronaut, Martha just flew. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get more out of touch, Lauren Sanchez floated through the capsule and said the 6 words that detonated the internet. We're all in this together. The internet froze. Did she really just say that? From a luxury pod that costs more than most people make in a year, she declared unity. Unity, while folks are budgeting eggs and splitting rent 3 ways. That line hit like a slap. Not powerful, not moving, just wildly disconnected. It didn't inspire, it insulted. The entire mission, framed as a leap for womankind, suddenly felt like a tone-deaf branding exercise for the rich and famous. No STEM breakthroughs, no scientific goals. Just selfies, speeches, and designer spacesuits. Critics dubbed it feminism, a new kind of filtered feminism where empowerment was replaced with engagement metrics. Suit up, cry a little, float for 11 minutes, and voila, you're a pioneer. That's not progress. That's packaging. Real women in tech, science, and education, the ones actually fighting for respect, recognition, and resources, were furious. While they're grinding in labs and classrooms, Katy and her crew were floating in Bezos's branded bubble pretending to carry the torch. It wasn't just offensive, it was disorienting. The gap between the real fight for gender equity and this PR spectacle was wider than the atmosphere Katy barely touched. Even the media coverage didn't help. Outlets gushed over her custom spacesuit, her glowing skin, her outfit coordination. It was less a historic mission and more Met Gala in orbit. There were no technical breakdowns, no engineering insights, just style reports, posing guides, and breathless fashion analysis. If this was supposed to be a defining moment for women, then why did it feel like a zero-gravity red carpet? And then came the satire. People photoshopped Katy into Disney astronaut doll boxes, complete with sparkly boots and slogan stickers. Someone posted a black screen with one brutal caption. The only thing orbiting Earth was their egos. Another viral clip layered her capsule monologue with mockumentary voiceovers about bottle service and velvet ropes. This wasn't just mockery, it was digital annihilation. The final nail, Amy Schumer, with pitch-perfect comedic timing, posted that she got added to the mission last minute and just happened to have a spacesuit in her bag. People half believed it. That's how unserious Katy's trip had become. The mission wasn't about space. It wasn't about science. It was about selling a storyline, and the audience had already flipped the script. In the end, it wasn't the duration of the flight that mattered. It was what it revealed, the growing disconnect between celebrity PR campaigns and the real world. Katy wanted a rebirth, a spiritual headline, a comeback wrapped in cosmic metaphors. What she got was a cultural roast that played out in memes, tweets, and silence from the very people she hoped to uplift. Because in space, no one can hear you fake a breakthrough. So was it really a mission of empowerment? Or just another glitter-drenched fantasy sold as feminism? Let us know in the comments. The memes, the takes, the savagery. And if you want more breakdowns just like this, hit that like, share, and subscribe. We've got plenty more delusions to unpack.